We've reached that time, everybody. It is the LIV Golf post-game show. A gorgeous, golden, sunlit evening, early evening here in Adelaide. Crowds in excess of 25,000 who have made their voices heard all day today, and Taylor Gooch has had a magnificent opening day for the Range Goats. That was for his birdie at 13, one of 10 that he would make in his opening round, bogey free. This was his second shot at 16.
And like David said, reiterating what he said in his interview, just hit a lot of quality shots. Yeah. That doesn't leave much doubt.
This for birdie at 18. He's got a 4-stroke lead over Burmester and Bland going into the second round. This was for birdie at the 4th. Formerly of the Four Aces, he joined Bubba Watson's Range Goats in an off-season move. This for birdie at 5. He made 5 birdies in a row.
That was just one point. His 11th hole of the day. Then get at the next hole. Not exactly rolling it in from all over the green. These are short birdie putts with a high percentage rate.
And his second shot into the 8th.
Yeah, a delightful little bump and run.
So the individual pylon going into day 2 tomorrow. Taylor Gooch dominant on day 1, 10 under par. Dean Burmester's having a really good season for Stinger. He's 6 under. Richard Bland 6 under. Another solid opening round for him. Graham McDowell 5 under. The Cleeks enjoyed their opening day. Sergio 4 under par. Cameron Smith perhaps a little disappointed at 3 under par, but certainly not out of it. And Ripper GC will be there and thereabouts, I'm sure. Phil Mickelson 2 under par. And it's all to play for over the weekend. That is the fan zone down there.
You know, I think some of them may just stay the night.
I may stay the night.
Yeah, it may be hard to get out.
Plenty of room under the desk here.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a fabulous day. And Taylor Gooch, we've seen him before early in the season in Mayakoba when he had sort of a healthy advantage going into the final round, or certainly with, at the time, it was Peter Uihlein, and kind of blew up in the final round. What's he going to be like leading from the front with a 4-stroke lead, but with 36 holes to play? What's the psychology there?
Well, you know, you just got to keep your foot down. That's it. It's the sort of golf course where, you know, if you play defensively, I think, Jerry, I mean, you may get into trouble. There are a lot of you know, different shots off the tee. We've seen a lot of different clubs off the tee. You just got to be smart, hit the right shot at the right time, but keep your foot on the pedal.
A quality player like Taylor Gooch doesn't forget how to hit the ball overnight. And when you're hitting it as well as he did today, odds are that's going to continue. Your form is going to stay sharp. There's nothing in Oklahoma, where he's from, that could possibly prepare you for this golf course whatsoever. So it's all just his form. He's a world-class player. We knew that when he signed with LIV. We knew that coming into this league. And Bubba knew it when he convinced him to switch teams to the Range Goats as well.
Well, I know that people are enjoying the post-game show because we're getting terrific access to some of the players very shortly after they've finished their rounds, and they like to have a chat with Troy Mullins and talk them.
Who doesn't?
Talk her. Well,
who wouldn't?
Yeah.
They talk her through their routines, their rituals, their practices, and Dean Burmester, who's having a terrific tournament in Adelaide, following up from a great tournament in Orlando. Troy is with you now.
Arlo, I think I get more of a pleasure speaking with these players. I'm learning a lot. Dean Burmester, you are in second place.
Right, yeah, thanks.
6 under.
Yeah.
Why are you here? What are you working on?
A little bit of rhythm, tempo, warming down, spending time with my compatriots, gonna have a nice cappuccino. Just chill it out, you know?
Let's talk about you.
Yeah.
And the pants.
Yeah.
And hole 14.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it, he lost a bet, and tell us what happened.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I won the bet, but by winning the bet, I lost my pants. So, to be honest, I don't even know how it happened. My captain chips in twice, and before he chipped in the second one, I was like, well, if you chip it in again, I'll take my pants off. I'll play the next hole without my pants. Got off lightly. They just let me hit one shot without my pants on. So I consider that a win, really.
Well, you're Team Stinger through and through. You had matching green underwear.
That's right.
But can we watch you hit some balls and just talk to us about, like, how do you warm down after a hot
honestly,
round?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a long day. You still want to feel like your club, where it was. You want to create that feeling. When you have a good day, it's the perfect time to hit balls because you want to repeat it tomorrow, you know. When you have a bad day, you got to go sit in a bar and have a beer. That's how I grew up anyway. Don't tell my coach that. He might not agree, or my trainer.
I think I'm the opposite. I'd come spend about 2 hours out here trying to find it again.
Yeah, I like to just feel like I get in the right positions and feel that I'm still rotating through it, really.
Talk us through what went really well in your round today. Do you feel it was your greens in regulation?
Yeah, I mean, look, 4 under through 3 holes on the start kind of gets it done, doesn't it, you know? Gets any nerves or any stress you had going is done when you're 4 under through 3. So, you know, we got a hell of a bounce on 8 straight down and went to 12 feet and knocked that in, and I was just like, wow, okay. 3 under through 2, and then got up and down on 9 and walked to the 10th tee thinking, geez, golf is easy. And then obviously it's not that easy. But yeah, I mean, you know, when that kind of happened, it was all about holding on and waiting to make a couple more putts, and which I did towards the end. I made 2 nice birdies coming in, which was nice, and that puts me where I'm at.
Well, you have to be creative out here on this course, and I see that you play like a pretty consistent fade, but do you work the ball both ways?
I do. I mean, there's a lot of holes where you have to, you know, tee shots on 5 and a couple other tee shots where you have to, but generally, if there's nothing in my way, I'll hit a fade. I see it, you know, vary the flight a little bit. I like varying my flight, not as much as this man next to me, but I do like varying my flight with a driver a little bit, tee it down, hit it a little lower, a little bullet cuts, but I don't draw a driver. I haven't drawn a driver since I was in school, I don't think. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so just fade the driver, but I mean, the irons, I'm happy to move it around, you know.
Were there places that you didn't hit driver today and you preferred to hit something a little bit shorter?
There are a few. 17, I didn't hit driver on 17. Didn't hit driver on 5, obviously. Where else didn't I hit driver? That was about it, I think. Just bang driver, just grip it and rip it. I mean, grin and grind is our logo, so if I hit in the rubbish, I'd better just smile and carry on, right?
I don't know if we have a shot tracer, but just in case, can you hit another one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let me get out of the way.
What do you want? Fade, draw, straight?
Yeah, let's do a fade.
Fade? Okay, let's do the normal fade.
So can you talk us through while you're hitting it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
So, I mean, fade for me, club face obviously a little open, ball goes a little forward, and then hold on to the face. Almost feel like I keep the face pointing down the target. And pull that chest left. It should come out left to right.
Let me tell you, I tried to learn how to hit a fade with Bubba yesterday, and it was way more complicated than that setup.
Yeah,
so you keep your feet square. I mean, that's so simple, right?
Yeah,
Everything else is square.
Everything
you just
is
open
square,
the face.
open the face, hit down my feet line. It's pretty simple. I mean, if I draw, I kind of do the same thing. Ball just goes back and club face closes a little bit, and then I swing it down that same feet line, and it should draw.
Thank you, Dean. All right, over to you, Soanne.
No problem. Cool.
Pat, great round today, 5 under par. First time competing here in Australia. What do you think?
Yeah, it's fun. The crowds were amazing. We're like Phoenix Open. We had fun though. We had fun.
Now, this is the first event that you've played with all of your teammates. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was great. You know, I'm pulling for everybody to play well, and it was fun. It was awesome. You know, we spent so much time together. It was just like a normal day.
Now, I do have to ask because I didn't get to see. What was your walk-up song on the 12?
It's Iron Maiden, Aces High, which I thought fit perfect for our team.
Yeah, great choice. Anyways, I'm going to leave you to practice. Good round. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks. Appreciate it. One take, baby.
One take, baby, he says. Absolutely right. Pat Perez and Dean Burmester, we thank them for their time. And we thank Matt Jones as well, who's here alongside us here of Ripper GC, of course. Matt, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. 72 today, even par. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of your round in a moment, and we'll take a little look at some of the Ripper highlights. But first, talk us through how special was today as an Aussie pro golfer out there.
Yeah, it was amazing. The support, the crowds out there were unbelievable. Leash, myself and Jed commented multiple times looking down the fairways how many people were down the sides of the fairways and surrounding the greens. It was unbelievable. I mean, Leash has played multiple Presidents Cups, and he said it was the same, if not better than those, which was amazing.
Now, did it add to the pressure?
I don't think so. I don't think we felt any pressure. It's just, we just probably didn't play as good as we would have liked. I mean, our captain, he played pretty well, and I think the rest of us just need to fire up a little the next couple of days.
Now, Matt, you were the first of the Australian guys to come from the PGA Tour to LIV Golf, of the 3 guys who've won out there and played out there. You said a lot of that reason was to be able to come back here and play down under, and now I know all y'all are feeling like maybe we should have more down here in Australia, but talk a little bit about the respect you have for the crowd and the respect they have for you. It was pretty incredible from an observationist standpoint.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I was the first Australian to come, and it was a difficult decision.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy I did, and now looking at here what we have this week, yeah, I can only see it growing, and hopefully we do get an extra one next year.
Now, you were listening to Dean Burmester's interview, and you're like, I got to change my strategy. He hit driver almost every hole.
Yeah, I played with Jed and Leash, and I don't know, we maybe hit 5 drivers out there each. Yeah, we played it a little differently than he did.
Matt, just hold fire for a second. We're going to go back down to Troy Mullins with Harold Varner III. Troy.
I've got Harold Varner, who is, not as happy with his round as I think he should be.
No, that is false. I'm not happy with my round, but the range goats are in position, and if you've been following along, we've been terrible, and it's super exciting. I'm so happy for Taylor. I'm really happy for this team because on paper I think we're really good, and we haven't played well. So, that's what I've been saying it all week, like it's going to come, and it came today, and we just need to keep doing that, get ourselves in position to win. I think winning takes care of a lot of things. I don't think I've played great, but, Augusta was good for me, just a lot of things, but none I really want to describe, but it was good for me, and I'm super excited just to turn the season around. I'm just tired of losing, to be honest with you.
Well, I want to talk about one thing you mentioned, which is a win. Seeing your baby boy out there at the par 3 stole the show. I don't know if people know about that, but tell us about what happened.
Yeah, he's I don't know how old he is. He's definitely over 1, but he's not 2, and he is crazy. He's nuts. I mean, I totally understand where he gets it from. I don't ever doubt that, but he kept trying to run in the water, so golf was just irrelevant, and it was just funny that Thomas and Taylor have girls, and they're just calm. You pick them up. Liam's not having it. So it was a lot of fun. It just wasn't. It was too long. He's kind of heavy, and I'm not strong, so I hate carrying him. So I let him run, and then they weren't thrilled about him almost getting in the water. So yeah, it is what it is. He's nuts. He's nuts. I just saw a video. Him trying to push his little stroller around, and he got so mad it wouldn't move, but the lock was on. So, those are the fun things in life. I've said this about why I came to LIV, and that's a big part of why.
Well, I don't know if he's as heavy as the range goes. You've carried this team, scores counting every time. So I think you're off the hook, and we're excited to see you play in the coming weeks and the next 2 days.
Off the hook's a strong word.
We certainly are looking forward to the next couple of days. Ripper GC, the homecoming edition, ready to show the world how it's done. Matt, it's a great example of team golf and how it works in LIV Golf, because the Range Goats are in 12th in the season-long standings, only after 3 events. There's a long way to go. But you get a player, a hot hand like Taylor Gooch, who's 10 under par, and they're up in the higher echelons of the leaderboard on 13 under. They're 3 behind the cliques. If one of you fires, really fires on any given day, you can climb that pylon, can't you? Pretty swiftly.
Exactly. That's really that's what you want. It's what the Rippers haven't had yet. We haven't had someone shoot 62. I didn't even know Gooch shot 62. We haven't had anyone really start with a 62, 63, 64, and that really helps because it can offset a team that shoots 1, 2 under with a couple of other guys, and it really keeps you in position during the week. And hopefully we can do that tomorrow.
Obviously, you're playing medal play competition, 54 holes for a whole lot at stake individually. How much more pressure does it add, or maybe does the Australian mentality kind of alleviate that pressure, because you guys typically are very self-deprecating, but being a team member, does it add much more pressure to just the daily routine, the daily shot making, the decisions you make out there?
You probably do feel a little bit more of that, because you don't want to let your team down. You don't want to let the other players on the team down. But I do find that I have a tendency to work harder and grind more out on the golf course than I did before, because if you're a 3 or 4 over, you're going to miss the cut by 2 or 3. You're like, oh, I'm done now. But a lot of the time you don't know how we are doing as a team, and my 3 or 4 over, if I have 1 or 2 birdies, could count.
Right.
So it's it's different, but you really do want to play well for your team.
Cam said earlier in the week, you're in each other's shadows the whole time you're at the golf course and away from the golf course. I mean, genuinely, do you all get along as well as it seems?
Oh, we do. We have a great time together. We do give each other a lot of crap, and we make fun of each other a lot of the time, but we all want the best for each of us. And then, as Cam said in the interview yesterday, we are like 4 brothers that hate each other in times and love each other at the same time.
Now, the people who have watched you play through the years, be it PGA Tour, be it out here, or be it earlier in your career, they would make one observation about you generally, other than the fact that you're just a super nice guy and everybody likes you and people enjoy playing with you. But one of the reasons they enjoy playing with you is because you're the fastest golfer on planet Earth. Were you always that way, and how did you get that way? Because that is a huge hot-button issue right now.
It's something I've always done. I haven't tried to be fast. It's something I've done from a very young age. I grab the club. I know the shot that I'm trying to hit, the shape I'm trying to hit, and I'll have a couple of swings behind the ball. But as soon as I walk in, I'll have a feeling that I want to repeat, and I try and do it as quick as I can.
Can you teach that to everybody?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, to be honest, I wish college coaches could do something to prepare the golfers before they come out here.
If you and Pat Perez played a 2-ball, caddies just walk at a normal pace on this course, what would you play in without trying to hurry?
Yeah, it wouldn't be much over an hour 45.
Yeah. You know it costs you a lot of airtime, right, from a TV producer standpoint?
I do.
They can't get the cameras in place.
I try to slow down sometimes when the camera guys are trying to run behind me. I do see it, so I do try, but I can't let it take me out of my routine too much.
Tell us about the watering hole, Matt, because that looked pretty intense.
It was impressive. The amount of fans out there were unbelievable, and to be on that tee with 3 other Aussies was even better. It was a tough hole, into the wind off the right, and there was a lot more off the right than we could feel on the tee. But hopefully the boys do better next week. I think tomorrow. I think we had 3 bogeys and a par on that hole. Maybe 4 bogeys. I think Leash parred it. But yeah.
It was playing pretty tough, wasn't it? This is apparently a caddy race from a little bit earlier down the 12th. The 4 aces, off they go. Well, 2 of them at least.
What do we got here? Kessler?
Kessler's done that multiple times, so he knows what he's doing, especially in Phoenix Open.
My hamstrings are sore just looking.
That's great.
What does tonight look like for you as a team?
As far as I know, well, I'm going to practice for a little bit because I wasn't happy with the way I finished my round off. But there is a concert. Cam's a massive fan of Fisher, and so is Jed.
That was his walk-up tune today, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was. And I don't really know many Fisher songs, but I'm sure Leash and I will go there, probably have a beer and watch the concert.
Fantastic. What do you want out of yourself over the next 2 days?
I mean, if I could putt the same way I putted today, I putted beautifully. And that's probably been the weakest part of my game for the last couple of years. I just need to hit it closer and hit in more fairways, to be honest with you. You can't get access to that many pins. I mean, Gooch did today, but I'm expecting the greens to be firm, a lot firmer than they were today. They were quite receptive today. And
as a team, speaking of Fisher, by the way, that must have been him that was doing the shoey.
On the 12th
On the 12th, yeah. That was the guy from Fisher, apparently, but didn't realise that at the time.
I was wondering why security didn't get out there.
Yeah.
That's Fisher.
He's got an inside the ropes pass, clearly. Trying to do one of Cam's trademark shoeys. This is after the last shot of the day here, Matt. David Pooch, who actually made a birdie. So a few of the volunteers are going to have to stay a little bit later to clear the way for tomorrow.
That's a lot of wasted beer.
I doubt that they're full.
No, there was The people had a great time out there, and I mean, with Leishman out there talking about Leishman lagers all day, I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah. With the volatility, potential volatility in the team competition, when you look at where you are, you're 4 under, tied 11th at the moment, only a third of the way through. You're 12 behind the leaders, but in terms of just progressing towards the podium, you don't write yourselves off at this stage, do you?
No, you never do. I mean, I know our team's capable of shooting. Every player is capable of shooting 8 under in a round. So if there's 3 8-unders, you're leading probably. So it's doable, and I know the guys have it in them, and it's just a matter of going out there and performing.
You're in the merch tent tomorrow, aren't you, doing a signing session?
We'll find that out today, I'm sure. Tomorrow.
We just saw Phil signing autographs there. You've known him for a long time and been around him a fair bit. Put into perspective from your eyes, how does a 52-year-old go to Augusta National without any form whatsoever and finish second?
It's amazing to be able to do that after the way he's played out here. I mean, he talks about being close and going on a tear soon, so he's mentally must be very strong because he's struggled out here a lot. But Augusta is a golf course that is a place where you know where to hit it, know where to miss it. I noticed that with Sandy Lyle when I played with him, and he hit it everywhere, but it was always in the right spot.
Well, he started off today superbly, didn't he, Phil Mickelson? This was his second shot at the 4th, the captain of the High Flyers. They're there or thereabouts on 11 under par. The Range Goats 13 under, Stinger 14 under, Cleek 16 under, so they're in the hunt. And next for birdie after that second shot. And the roars just got gradually louder. Next for birdie at 6. This is a big moment.
Yeah.
We were saying earlier, Matt, there was somebody put a put away out on the course and there was a smattering of applause, and that's one of the few times we only heard a smattering of applause because it was roar after roar after roar.
It was unbelievable out there. I mean, the support that our team had, our group had, was unbelievable, and I just am so happy to be here.
Very knowledgeable crowd as well, a very fair crowd. That was his second into 18, and this is Phil's birdie putt.
Yeah, not many guys have the ability to play that shot he did when we saw Cam Smith duplicate it just a little bit later.
Yeah, it's a very tough pin. I was lucky. That was my first hole of the day, and I thought it was going to be quite dicey there at the end. But seeing those shots, it wasn't too bad. But Phil's always about, if he gets his driver in play, we all know how good he is with his iron, his short game, his putting. So if he gets that in play, he's going to be good.
When you get on the sandbelt type courses, and this is a sandbelt, not a Victoria sandbelt course, but it's a sandbelt course. Have you ever played lies that are tighter anywhere that aren't hard pan?
No, if I was chipping on my driveway, that's about it. You have to change your wedges this week. I had to go to a lot less bounce because these are so tight and so firm.
Now I know you want to go hit some balls. A typical bucket of balls is 60 balls at a range. A lot of us take 30, 45 minutes to hit it. What's your elapsed time?
Yeah, it'll probably be about a 15-minute session.
So you're going to slow it up a bit.
Well, if I hit them and get the results that I want, I won't be there that long.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and go take it deep tomorrow, would you?
We will. Thank you for having me.
Great stuff, Matt. Thank you very much for your time, and all the best for the weekend. There's your teammate, Jed Morgan, who was whipping the crowd into a frenzy a little bit earlier on. I don't think anyone's left yet. The golf has ended for the day, but the party is just starting. Now the Cleeks, who have never finished on a podium. In fact, this is the first time that they've led after a day's play. Bernd Wiesberger for birdie at 14.
Maybe inspired by the return of their captain, even though he was the non-counting score.
16 under par for the Cleeks overall, a 2-stroke lead. That was for birdie at 17 for Richard Bland. Graham McDowell 5 under today, a 67 for him. That was for birdie at 18. Dickie Bland again, second shot at the 8th. They've got their captain Martin Keimer back. His score didn't count today, but he'll be very happy. He was 2 over par the last time I saw his first round for 6 months since he injured his wrist in Jeddah, had off-season surgery. Missed the opening 3 events. He's back here to lead his side. That was Wiesberger's birdie at 10 and Graham McDowell's birdie at 10 as well. Well, it's been a fantastic day, and look at the leaderboard in the team competition at the end of round 1. So the Cleeks lead the way, 16 under collectively. Stinger, who had at one point, was it a 6-stroke, maybe even an 8? It was 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, at 1 point early. But they, again, the way this course is laid out with the shotgun start, they started on what are the true scoring holes early, and we knew the Cleeks were finishing on those as a team, and they were going to make a move. A few other teams we thought might do that, but not so much. But the Cleeks certainly took advantage of it.
Mark Leishman's signature in big demand down there of Ripper GC. Looks like he's enjoying life and enjoying his time back on home territory. David has rejoined us.
I thought you left.
I'm back. No, listen, I want to experience as much of this as I possibly can. Yeah. It was a special day.
Yes, and when you look back at it, pick out some highlights for us. I mean, I'm not talking about drives and putts and that sort of thing, but just as an experience.
I think the crowd, was the highlight for me. Just a fabulous group of sports spectators, 25,000 of them, and you've got this golf course, Jerry. It's a canvas. It's such a perfectly presented canvas. These guys they're just painting masterpieces on it.
Yeah, when we started at Centurion in London, our very first event, you weren't there with us yet, but we saw pretty decent-sized crowds. And they're very knowledgeable, very appreciative. They were having a good time. They'd never seen anything like it. Nobody in the world had ever seen anything like what the LIV Golf experience is. We get to the very next event when they had a little bit more idea what it was going to be like in Portland, and we thought that was absolutely bonkers. Then we get to Boston with the playoff and DJ winning the playoff, and that was just beyond the realm of anything we could have expected when LIV Golf was conceived. And then you come here and you see the potential that it has and the excitement that the fans have for it. I just can't wait to enjoy this ride as long as they'll have me.
Early days, but it appears that Australia quite likes LIV Golf.
Yeah.
Decisions will be made way above our pay grade, of course. But can you see 2 tournaments being held in Australia each year from next year?
Oh, I would hope so. As many as we can possibly play here, if this is anything to go by.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of factors that go into that. As you accurately mentioned, well above our pay grade, but I don't mind spending time here. How about you?
No, it's pretty decent, pretty decent. And we've got 2 days remaining as well. It's been just absolutely fantastic. And look at the golden sunlight behind us, and the 18th green has finally cleared. It was a sea of humanity about an hour ago. It's going to stay sunny throughout the weekend. Henrik Stenson down on the practice tee, just getting some extra swings in. That's the hottest selling shirt in the merch tent. Guess who that is?
That's the first shirt, I think, to outsell the Range Goats t-shirts right there.
Cam Smith adorns the LIV Golf. It's maroon, of course. He's a Queenslander. And he'll hope for better fortunes tomorrow. Chaps, what are you expecting tomorrow specifically?
Well, I expect someone to shoot 62 or 63 again. It may well be Taylor Gooch, could be somebody else. But I don't think he's going to run away with this. There are too many great players right behind him, and this golf course is in such great condition and so gettable. I think we're in for a great finish.
I agree. Just when you're hitting it as well as he's hitting it, without even having to make too many putts to shoot 62, it's there for someone else. As David said, with so many great players chasing him, we have a lot of great players, some of the best in the world playing LIV Golf, and they are not going to let him get out of their sights too much.
Yes, 4 strokes is the lead overnight for Taylor Gooch, but so much talent in a packed field behind him, and some low scores there for the taking over the weekend. It's been a very, very special day here at the Grange in Adelaide. We've got 2 more days to come. I can hardly wait to tee it off tomorrow. Thanks for joining us around the world from the entire LIV Golf team here at the Grange in Adelaide. Goodbye for now.